And this is why AEW is the place for the best wrestle guys, you know? Oh, hey, audience.
Your Wi-Fi struggled to get there, but
you got there eventually. That's all that matters.
Oh, God. You know, you guys know about my situation from yesterday, right? I was at my brother's place for the first time, doing this podcast.
Now you know
now
how
I'm back at my boss's place.
Now y'all know how I felt for
But right now, I'm in my boss's house again, and of all the times for it to be storming up, it had to be tonight again, So don't be surprised if I get more signaling issues, So.
Yeah. But yeah,
at least I can watch Sinners on fucking digital on the 3rd.
The cheapest rent I've been ever able to find is $1,200. I mean,
the cheapest rent that I was able to find was like $800.
That's cheap. That's like dirt cheap.
That's like that's like pre-2020 rent.
I live in a $700, but that's about to go away. Like they're about to renovate this whole place. But like anything below 700, even people like that might be a scam. Like that's a scam.
Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you this, Jake. When they want to do the renovation, that's just another excuse for them to want to raise up the price once it's all finished.
Yo, we're getting William Afton in Dead by Daylight.
There you go.
We're getting Springtrap, guys.
The news of the week, audience.
News of the week. Rent is expensive. I mean, like I think it's 1,200 is the base for a lot of places, and then I think the most I've seen is like maybe 1,500 in this neighborhood. That's what I've seen is maybe cheap. But,
yeah.
Audience, there's a very specific reason why we're talking about rent prices right now. Because when they found out how much I was paying for rent, they were like, "What the hell kind of nonsense is this?"
$250 for rent.
Damn.
$250 for rent.
You're like $500 2 months worth of rent. I was like, what?
This is coming.
No, like I said that in passing, be like, oh yeah, 500 is like 2 months of rent, and then they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And also keep in mind, audience, I'm technically a landlord, so yeah, I know thing about pricings when it comes to rent. So yeah.
Keep in mind, even low income housing is the worst.
Yep. All right. So, you guys want to get started?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Welcome, Phanatics Live, the news and reviews of the week, audience. You're here with me, CryptoSecret415. Please, to the signaling gods out there, have mercy on me. All right.
No.
Yeah.
You will suffer how I felt.
And you're with me, Jake Tylenol. I'm here to say that I still think about that final moment where Nani carries Stitch to the water and they love Stitch. I still think about it.
Dude, I'll think about that moment every single time I have to jumpstart my car. So
that was a recurring joke in the movie. She couldn't get a car to start. I don't know if that's a deal. So.
Anyways. I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and I'm still hungry. So I'm going to make myself some more food after this. After my book, at least. I'll go start boiling some water by the time we get to the last book.
And together we form the Phanatics -1, and we talk to you about the news.
-2.
And we're going to talk to you about the news and reviews of the week. And on our special Tuesday nights, we do the comic reviews. We have a short list today, but a sufficient list nonetheless. Our returning cast members, the Bionicles and Avengers Academy, are on the way. And we also have Fantastic Four returning for its monthly debut, and Superior Avengers, and the motherfucking SilverHawks, bro. Nerves of steel. Okay.
Yeah.
We also have some socials, which is more than welcome to introduce.
Yeah, I could definitely do that while I work on a drawing of my OCs because I don't draw them often. First of all, you can subscribe to us because once we hit 100 subscribbles, you might get a special little treat. That's all I gotta say, right, Jake? We're gonna get a special little treat.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, we're gonna get a special little treat that they have to start thinking of ideas for so that I can actually do it. Anyways, You can also follow us on Twitter at ComicFanatic69. Remember, that's with a PH, not with an F. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's with a PH, but you know what? I don't care. I don't get paid enough to care.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can, if you don't want to follow the whole squad and you just want to follow moi, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. You can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch at witch_of_Jotunheim. You can also follow me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Northstar Aria. I just posted some stuff on Tumblr. Go check it out, lol. Anyways, you can find me on xiaohongshu/rednote at Witch of Jotun. I try to post on there. I don't post often, just like my Blue Sky. You can also find, if you want to be so kind and help me financially, you can support my Ko-Fi at Witch of Jotunheim. It should all be in the description, as these two should be doing. Cryptid's in the same spot, kind of, but with shitty Wi-Fi. Now he knows how I feel. Austin's not here today, as you can obviously see. Philly is just an illusion. And Jake is gone. I don't know what happened to Jake, but he's not here. So, yeah. He'll be here. He'll be back in a minute, though. I don't know what happened to him, to be honest with you. And now I'm just talking, and it's kind of weird. So, yeah. How you doing, audience? You doing well? Yeah? Cool. And let me just tag Jake. Where you at?
Which, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I was just yapping.
Okay, just double checking.
What the hell happened to y'all?
I know, man. You might end up being the last one standing today, man. Just prepare for that. So.
Yeah, because I have decent Wi-Fi right now. I don't know what happened to Jake.
Oh yeah, brag about your location. Which why don't you?
Hey. According to my dad, I live in the hood now, so leave me alone.
Gotcha.
It's actually pretty nice. It's actually not that bad.
Cool.
I've seen worse places.
Gotcha. Well, let's just
Plus, I'm close to downtown.
Yep. Let's fill up some time for Jake to get here because I need him to have his reactions when I talk about Fantastic Four and how badly Reed screwed up the timeline.
Damn, how bad did he fuck up on a scale of 1 to 10? How bad did he fuck up? How bad? How bad did he fuck up? Making that much, audience. That's how much he fucked up. Yeah, I totally got that. So, audience, yeah, sorry for the light week. Austin's not here today.
You guys hear me?
Yes, Jake, you back?
Jake.
Okay.
Yes, computer overheated.
Yeah, that's how my phone is like sometimes. My phone overheats. Anyways, let's get started, shall we? Cryptid, your internet better like you for 5 seconds.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let's get started. So right now we're talking about Fantastic Four number 32. Audience. Woo! Yay. You guys don't hear me, right?
Yes, start.
Okay, just double checking. So, okay, you guys need reminding, remember, in order to kind of jumpstart Ben Grimm going back to the thing, they decided to go through other dimensions to just have Ben absorb all the cosmic rays of the Fantastic Fours of those universes, right? Mm-hmm. So none of them were working, so they found this one universe where, yes, it finally did work. It kickstarted Ben turning back into the thing, only for the four, Reed, Sue, and Johnny and Ben of that universe to not receive their powers. And you come to find out, oh wait, that's actually our universe 616 that you kind of fucked up on. So,
damn.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how that works for all you time knowledge theorists out there. Okay, you actually did something in the past that affected the present instead of making another universe. So it's what it is. So what ends up happening is, Sue in her last-ditch effort uses her powers to kind of protect her family, But they can only help so much. Unfortunately, time fixes itself to where, yes, now the present is now the altered past, meaning Valeria and Franklin of our universe didn't get born.
Oh, damn.
know?
That's what happens when you fuck with time.
I know, right? But or did they? Because apparently, in altering their past, their present selves, they end up creating a new timeline in which Valeria comes back, remembering everything that happened, and she's in a new body. Let me bring her up.
Oh, why does she have black hair? She's normally a blonde. It's so weird.
Yes, because apparently in this universe, in this universe, Reed and Sue didn't become superheroes, so they became
normal fucking people.
Parents. So I guess that one thing led to another, and that just resulted in Valeria. Yeah, that just resulted in Valeria saying, "You know what? I'd rather go as a blonde and as a brunette than a blonde." So yeah.
Good to know. How did Reed fuck up?
Oh, and by the way, her name is not Valeria in this timeline now. It's actually.
It's what?
I know. Well,
wait, I didn't hear what you said.
In all fairness, part of the blame also goes to.
What was her name?
Which, can you hear me?
Yeah, what was her name?
In this universe, her name is Mary.
Mary.
Valeria, originally,
Mary.
Now her name is Mary Richards.
Ew,
yeah, I don't know the exact origins for. I don't know the exact origins for how she got her name Valeria. At the end of the day,
wouldn't Doom be the one to give her that name? Isn't he the one that gave her birth? I'm sure he was like Valeria.
I do recall from a question in Marvel Ultimate Alliance that stated that Dr. Doom did name one of Reed's children, so I think it was.
I would like to think Valeria.
Okay.
He does have a bond with Valeria.
Yeah, so there you have it. So, what do you guys think of her hairstyle now?
I don't know how I feel. It kind of looks like Valentine's.
I know, right? Oh, and let me give you a full shot.
Oh, it's a ponytail.
Let me give you a full shot.
Yeah,
for whatever reason, Franklin. Yep.
Why is he
for whatever reason. I know, for whatever reason that happened.
I like
that. Yeah. Weird hair choices for their kids. Okay. But anyway,
not that good.
Gotcha. But anyway, don't worry, audience. You see, Valeria kind of is trained to deal with these situations because they're in their long space adventures, whatnot. You know how a parent in a long road trip will be telling their kids, "Hey, here's play a video game," or "Hey, count how many cars you see or what's out the window." Right? No, Reed is the sort of parent that would tell you, "Hey, let's have a guessing game for what you would do in a situation where you're in a universe where you know nothing about." Yay. That's the sort of parent Reed is, audience, So
worse.
A shitty one.
He's prepared for all situations in this case.
Being a good father. How about that?
He's not a good father in this situation. He's there for his kids full time now, Jake.
Full time, he should be working.
Making the dough to support his kids.
Oh, wait till you find out what became of his son in this universe. Because Valeria's just, she's going to the library, which is something her dad recommends you do if you're in an alternate universe, Go to the library, brush up on what's going on in this universe's history, and maybe look up in the computer and that stuff. So, she finds, okay, in this universe, since my parents and Johnny and Uncle Johnny and Uncle Ben didn't get their powers. Oh, well, Ben and Alicia still got married. They didn't get kids, though. And Johnny's still the single uncle.
Well, not much has changed, huh?
Wow, Johnny. Dude, feel a little bad for you in that situation. But anyway, she also has to wonder this: how is the planet still alive now that the Fantastic Four have never existed? Because hey, whether you like it or not, Jake, they saved the world countless times. You know?
Yeah, but apparently it wasn't even that useful. All right, apparently we could have done it without him. All right, so
Oh no, just you watch. Because apparently, okay, what ends up happening apparently, in order for Franklin and Valeria to avoid getting their existence wiped out, they just ended up attaching their minds to the closest genetic match of this universe. Which, in Valeria's case, yes, it was in, Mary Richards' body. But in Franklin's case, some science mumbo jumbo happened where he went to the Franklin Richards of this universe's body, but he went there at the point where he was an embryo, so he doesn't remember anything about the time being altered, this and that. And because the Fantastic Four were never formed, and because Franklin got there early, he developed his godlike powers as a toddler.
Oh,
You know?
lovely. Don't you just love when that happens?
I know, but hey, it all worked out for the best because the moment.
If you're curious.
Yep. It all worked out for the best because the moment Galactus came by, since there were no Fantastic Four there to save the day, Rita's like, go beat up the bad man, son. And that's what he ended up doing.
sending his child in danger. Okay, all right, I understand.
Oh, wow. Maybe he and Goku should have some words, some parental
Goku
words,
is
right?
raising a sane child. He is genetically engineered to beat someone's ass. Okay, that's
How
different.
dare Goku? How dare Goku force his child to fight Cell and even give him a
I'm sick of people saying that. He knew Gohan would win. He knew he would win. Okay, he trained him specifically. And you know what's crazy? Even if Gohan couldn't do it, no one could. No one. Because Goku lost that fight. He lost that.
Jake, ask King Pai if he made the right decision. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
King Kai's a fraud. He's a bitch. He's fine. He's just annoying.
Okay, so what ends up happening was because Franklin developed his powers early, he decided to turn himself into the most fiercest thing he's seen. So, Lord him the whole audience. This is Franklin Richards now that he was fully raised by.
Turning your son into a.
He's Galactus.
Turning your son into a planet-eating monster.
You're like, God dang.
Turning your son to a planet-eating monster is not a good fatherhood. All right,
well, no, he's not a planet-eating monster. He's just taking his appearance because right now at this point he's full on Dr. Manhattan. Jake, put it that way.
Would you have your son take the appearance of a supervillain?
Franklin, embraces his godhood to this extent. No. Well, in this world, he's a hero because he ends up taking the world's burden. Yeah, he takes the world. He takes the whole. With great power comes great responsibility to a planetary level. So any bad guy that pops up in the world, he's there to wipe them out.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to fucking know, guys.
That makes him a good man, but
Aren't you proud?
That makes him a shitty father.
Huh?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Franklin's a good man, but Reed's a shitty father. All right.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Reed's son ended world conflict.
I don't care what Reed, how bad of a.
Yeah. Why is your son responsible for all that? Huh? Isn't Reed smart enough to do it? Is he not the smartest man?
He's the one with great power. He's the one literally with great power, Jake.
Yeah. Now he doesn't have a normal life because of his father. Look at that. Shitty Reed.
He's bigger than life, Jake. Screw being normal.
I need Jake to get into a room with Dr. Doom to see who can out hate Reed Richards. I need to see that. I would pay good money for that, honestly. I will spend all $300 of my dollars right now on this.
It will basically be like that scene from Cobra Kai where Johnny and Chosen are one-upping each other on how much they could diss on Daniel. It'll be Jake and Dr. Doom.
But okay. These references I understand.
Yep. Jake and Doom just trying to one up each other on all of Reed's
This
flaws.
is it's like the biggest dick fighting competition, but instead of like actual dick fighting, it's just who hates Reed Richards more.
Yeah, pretty much.
But here's the thing: Jake has the advantage here because he has the comics to work with. Victor doesn't have that.
Yeah, I know shit
Exactly.
that Doom wasn't even there for. Right?
He was like, "How do you fucking know that? That's fake news."
Yeah.
And then he'll just kill you.
Gotcha. But anyway, when Franklin was trying to have a talk with his sister, right? All of a sudden, he gets a sense that like a terrorist attack is happening in the UK. So he's telling his sister, "Oh, sorry, sis, have to go for a bit. Have to go deal with a terrorist crisis in the United Kingdom."
Ask Galactus.
Yep. So he leaves, and this is when you find out it was actually Jean Grey who had something to do with this. Yeah.
Damn it, Jean.
Jean Grey. Yeah, she's been trying with all her might to put herself under the radar because again, nobody pretty much has any free will in this world because hey, in order to solve all global crises. I guess Franklin is monitoring everybody's mind. So, if you have an evil thought or you're about to do something bad, boom, you're going to have a Galactus coming up on your butt. So.
That sucks ass, man. Fuck you, Reed.
Okay, so you find out in this universe, it's Valeria, sorry, not Valeria. Jean is married to Namor. I'm like, dang.
I saw that on Twitter. That's where this comes from.
Yep. That's where it comes from.
I was like, where is this from? This is.
Yeah.
Now I know. So, thank you for enlightening me on this because I genuinely did not know where that was from.
Gotcha. So, all right. So basically, they work on a contraption to kind of send Valeria's mind back to before they do the whole gamma bombing of cosmic rays on Ben situation to kind of prevent this timeline from happening. Unfortunately, Franklin. Oh, and by the way, that terrorist attack thing, that was actually concocted by Jean Grey and Namor because, look, they kind of have to make a sacrifice play here. They needed those terrorists to kind of distract Franklin long enough for Jean to, grab Valeria and have her be part of the plan. So yeah, they all knew what they were doing.
See, this is what happened. This is what happens when you let Namor be evil.
Mm-hmm.
You should never let Namor be evil.
Oh yeah, Atlantis is completely gone in this universe, right?
Exactly. My point still stands. Do not let Namor be evil.
I can only imagine in Franklin's case, he's going to be like, "Why is this fish guy getting chummy with my mom?"
Can you not? I hate when people do that, man, because it's so not true. It's only because writers are fuck asses, man.
I can only imagine.
Let Namor get married to Jim Hammond, and then I'll be happy. What?
There you go.
What? Sucking nerds?
Oh, gotcha. Oh, and also they kind of explained that the reason Namor is able to bypass, Franklin's mind sweep of everybody is because he's fish. He's part fish.
So. He's not a fish. He's an Atlantean.
Yeah. I don't know how that works, but I just go with that explanation.
He's also half mutant. He's half mutant and half Atlantean. I don't know how it works, but we just know that it works.
Gotcha. But anyway, so Franklin completely wipes out Namor, and he kind of has like a long conversation with his sister. She explains to him the situation that happened, and also she realizes, this machine was never going to send my brain patterns through time because that is way too much. That is way too much processing power to go through. So I just sent a 4-word phrase to my past self, and that should be enough to change time. So there you go. A crisis averted by a crisis Reed committed. So.
Thanks, Valeria. Everyone say thank you, Valeria.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fuck me, I guess.
Oh no, it's crazy. You know, Valeria, who was birthed by Doom, so really Doom saved the day.
Doom gave birth to Valeria.
No,
Yes, I
Doom
agree.
facilitated the birth of Valeria.
Nope. Doom gave birth to Valeria. I'm
You
gonna
know what?
post
Yes,
Twitter right now.
we're pushing the agenda. We're pushing the agenda.
Hashtag Doom.
That's
We're pushing the
Doom.
agenda.
That is Doom's child, and therefore Doom saved the Earth. That's all.
I know. Like Jake is going to be pushing for a DNA test now, audience.
Yeah.
Like,
No, a maternity test, not a paternity test, a maternity test.
yeah. So yeah, there you go, audience. I mean, it's a good issue and all, but like we still have to kind of find out how Ben is going to go back to being the Thing. So
Don't worry.
But hey, yep. But hey, the day is saved thanks to Reed's offspring. So you could credit Reed for saving the day too. You know, you did it, Reed, in more ways than one. So yeah. All right, you guys want to move on?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, let's move on.
Dun, 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 dun. Wings of silver, nerves of steel. Go, SilverHawks.
Dude, I can't do the whistle, man. Like,
But yeah, we're back to SilverHawks number 4. What'd you think? What have you thought about the? You read it, right?
yeah, I did read it. Yeah,
Okay, so what do you think about the SilverHawks saga so far?
I'm like, God dang, this is stuff you would see glossed over in the old animated series. I gotta say, man. Like, yeah. It's apparently picking up from the last issue, audience, where all the prototype SilverHawks, they got a royal beatdown. Like, not all of them made it. They're all banged up. They're all feeling like crap. And yeah, you come to learn that the sibling duo here, right? The girl and the muscle guy, yeah, they're fully connected with each other. So one person gets hurt, the other person does. But so that means if one person dies, the other person dies as well. Like,
Yeah, that sucks.
wait, I don't know if that's how twin logic works, but I guess that's what
SilverHawks universe. Okay. Was that in the show?
I don't recall that being in the show. I just recall that both of them were siblings and they went through the SilverHawk program, you know? So, okay, just go with it, you know? So, yeah, I also kind of like the logic, right? It was really the brother that got really severely injured, right? So the people, the scientists were like, yeah, we're going to have to put your brother through the SilverHawk program, you know, fully convert his body into cybernetics, isn't that? But I guess because you two have a deep connection like that, I guess you will have to go through that process too. Like,
They're like, sorry, bro, you have to do it.
Yeah.
How many of y'all would voluntarily basically go through a RoboCop process?
I think did they ever explain what Bluegrass decided to be a SilverHawk? I thought he was the one who was like, I thought he didn't even say anything about it. I think he was just like, that was his friend who wanted to do it, right?
I forgot how they. I skipped the first 3 issues. I'm just remembering
this one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just read this one, so I still have to get a chance. I will read those issues, Jake. So just give me some time.
Okay.
But I did read this issue.
Yeah.
I guess like another caveat to the SilverHawk program is you get to at least choose one body part of your original body to keep, aside
and
your
the face. And the face, you get to keep the face.
Yeah. So, what body part will y'all choose?
None. I like my body for the most part. Besides a couple things, but I like it for the most part.
The part that matters most.
Okay. The jewels, man. The jewels.
Yeah.
The jewels.
Yep. I mean, Bluegrass, it's kind of obvious that he would want to keep at least one good hand, you know, to play the guitar. There you go. So, yeah, this issue is basically them, you know, going through that program. And I do like the group shot they had at the end. Look at this. Yeah. Look at that, audience. Come on, tell me that's not you. Tell me that's not a heroic pose right there, you know?
It is. They're great
Yeah.
for cover posing. We also got the little alien guy.
The king.
Yeah, kid. He became a SilverHawk too, but he did it himself. He said I want to be a SilverHawk. They said nah. He's like, all right, well, I'll do it myself.
It's like I'll do it myself then.
I will turn myself into it. They said, how the fuck did you do that?
I know, like, I can't believe the facility didn't even realize that. I mean, one guy was like saying, like, yeah, we've been noticing some powers being used in this one sector of our station, but we don't know
investigate at all.
what that was being used for until we found that kid in the stasis pod where, yes, he turned himself into a SilverHawk. Like, okay. So,
yeah. So yeah, like now that they're actually made about, like when I was watching the cartoon at first, I thought these were like androids. No, they're like cyborgs.
yeah.
So they just lose all bodily functions. Because I'm looking at them, there's like nothing for them.
I know. Not everybody could go through the SilverHawk program. You got to think long and hard about the lifelong implications after this audience, So
maybe they'll go into that. Who knows?
Yeah, So life or death situation, I would imagine, right? So, and of course, there was like some other training montages here, like Quicksilver, who was being trained by his sergeant or whatever.
Yeah, they've been training him since issue 2. I think.
Yep. Yeah, his sergeant wasn't going easy on him because, like, hey, remember, you're going against. What was his name? Star something. The bad
guy?
Monstar. Yes. He was going up against Monstar, and he's like saying,
"Isn't that the name of those aliens from Space Jam?"
Yes. Mm-hmm. But this came out before Space Jam.
I hate his name, but yeah, he like killed the other SilverHawks in the last issue. Like they're dead. So.
Wow, it's almost like we have a villain that we actually hate, our audience. You know how rare that is, right? In today's world,
Yeah. Oh, let me ask something. Who's the best SilverHawk to you in terms of design on the cover on this picture right here?
Well, I guess I will have to go Quicksilver because he has a more polished look. Like
I do
some wax on or wax off. So
I do like the football head aesthetic they got on the, I forgot his name, but the one in the back.
Bluegrass?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bluegrass.
No, not Bluegrass. I like his too. I'm talking about the guy outside in space, the buff guy.
The buff guy? Oh yeah, the sibling.
Yeah.
Steel something.
Steel Will, Steel Will, and Steel Heart. That's their
There you go, So, man, imagine having to be a sibling in that situation. How your siblings want to hold that against you for life, that they went through the SilverHawk program because of you as well.
I never asked to be a SilverHawk.
I know, right? So, oh yeah, and the magician guy at the bottom right-hand corner, he's pretty cool too.
I didn't like him being here. This is like the first SilverHawks mission. And we don't have the kid there, bro. Like he's the main squad. He should be.
You want a kid? You want a kid to go out fighting to save the day, Jake?
Well, I mean, like, no. I just thought, like, for their first mission, we'd have the squad from the show, and then we would do the new people. You know what I mean? I get they could just have a kid just randomly show up and be a SilverHawk on day one. It's just like, I don't know.
Wow, it's almost like you guys approve of little toddlers going out to fight villains, right?
Is he he's not a toddler. How old is kid in the?
Well, alien age, I would think he's younger than 10. Let's say that.
No, he ain't younger than 10. Nah, you ain't getting away with that one. You ain't getting away with that one. Let's see how.
Go ahead, look it up.
I can't. What's his name? I can't find his name. What is the? I put a kid.
SilverHawk kid, man.
SilverHawk.
Yeah,
kid.
that's very helpful.
SilverHawk kid. I'll get his name first. But yeah. How do you feel about the writing of the story?
Oh, it's pretty good. I mean, I would imagine, like, you as an OG SilverHawk fan would appreciate this being, like, more, I wouldn't say extreme, but more brutal brutal stuff that the SilverHawks are going through. Because at the end of the day, they are space cops, and they are going to be having to deal with a lot of tough shit in the world, in the universe.
Yeah,
So,
the Copper Kid. Okay, let's see.
Copper Kid.
Yeah, Copper Kid. Yeah, I think I like the tone of this. I think this was a little too quick. I think this is more like it was like they've been slowly building it up, and I feel like the writer realized they had like no time left to like get to the they had to like get to the SilverHawks doing something. And so they're like okay, well, we set them on a mission. No. You know what I mean? It felt kind of like it felt like we had to do this just to move the story along. They won't give the Copper Kid's age.
Yeah, it just describes him as being the youngest member of the team, but that the show doesn't exactly state his age.
He's like, I'm gonna say no younger than 13. No younger.
Okay. I just can't wait for I told you so if it ever gets revealed that he's 9.
What the fuck is he here if he's 9?
Yeah, get him out of here. Yeah. But
do anything else, man.
And I gotta say, the fact that his name is Copper Kid, I'm like, man, dude, you really his parents really planned ahead for him. I gotta say,
I know they had it in the bag for him. I think my other thing too is that the team's kind of uneven right now, and maybe that's by design. Quicksilver's the other one who had SilverHawks training at this point.
Yeah.
The others have like small backgrounds in fighting, but it's not to the degree that Quicksilver had. I mean, Quicksilver was a cop before this too, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was even something like one of the sergeants in this series was even mentioning, like, dude, like this is you wanted to send these guys out to battle. You're talking about one guy who's a magician and the other guy who was a musician. Like, come on, really? So.
Yeah, but it's there is kind of a leap to get a little bit of a leap to get all these people in play, but at this point, I think that's fine just to get the characters in place. I am glad they didn't systematically go issue by issue explaining why all of them will want to be androids. I think it's kind of monotonous. Once we got to issue 3, we got the last 2 members down, and then Copper Kid just wants to do it just because, I don't know, maybe his family was killed or something. I don't know. Gotcha. But yeah, I do like the design. I think the art really does carry it. I am enjoying this arc. I know next issue we're getting a flashback because I remember we had we had a new faction, a new villain faction show up at the end of the story.
Yeah.
So
and
they're like, listen, we date back to the original SilverHawks. We were there before Monster. Okay.
Audience, do you mean to tell me that we're going to get a moment where Jake appreciates an origin story? Oh wow.
No, not on a monthly book. I'm not gonna appreciate it. I just appreciate there's a third faction because I think my thing is like I don't want a monthly book, and then next issue I have to wait a whole. I'm just getting a flashback, and then I have to wait a whole month for the next story. I think it's annoying to me. But no, I'm not gonna appreciate it. I kind of wish we just kept moving, and then we maybe got a flashback a little bit later. But they said this is. But apparently, this is gonna be the finale to the origin arc of the SilverHawks. So,
okay.
So
this will be the closest you'll ever appreciate an origin story, then, right?
I don't know how I feel about an origin story being in the book ender to your arc, but but yeah, volume 1 of SilverHawks ends kind of next month. So,
gotcha. So, any final thoughts on this before we move on, man?
I mean, how do you feel about the fighting? Their abilities? Do you think they could do it? Do you think they got what it takes? You think?
Oh yeah. Hey, beginner's luck has to work out in most cases, right? At some point. So.
Yeah,
right.
But we'll see. I am interested to see how they fight Monster. I guess they have stronger armor, but like, I feel like Monster's gonna fuck them up. Like a Confederate. So. We'll see.
Gotcha. Don't worry, they'll have the power of youth on their side.
The power of youth.
Thanks to
Well, I lost the game of Mahjong to a robot, so yeah.
Please, writer, confirm Copper Kid's age.
Yeah.
So I can say I told
just
you.
Just go ask on Twitter like a normal person.
Say he's like 13, just minimum.
Go on Twitter, ask the writer.
Just say he's 9. He's 9.
Sure, he's 9. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, just checking.
All right. Okay, guys. I guess with that we can move on. I'll be right back. So, all right.
Cool. Avengers Academy. One World Under Doom. Marvel Voices. Avengers Academy 44 called Break Things. So we start off with the Doombots. Right? Remember from the last issue? They're like, "Hey, Blackheart, we're gonna have to get you now by Doom's order. You know, you must surrender yourself for an exorcism." And like Gabriel's like, "Motherfucker." He's like, "Do I really have to fight these guys?" And he's like blasting them, and all that jazz. And so we see more Doombots go after Aaron and Brielle, such of stuff. And they're like, we have to go, like, we gotta go make sure that he's okay, and all this other stuff. Make sure that the Doombots don't get him. And all that jazz. And then we cut. Can you cut to the first picture, please?
Should you call me the bell time? Damn.
There we go. Thank you. So basically, inside the train, because we were on top of the train earlier, so Sin and Sheila are fighting and all this other.
Hello?
I think Witch cut out.
All right. Well, did you know that in Sonic X, Sonic and Amy have telepathy?
Let me message Witch.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. There was literally an episode where Amy says, I have a telepathic link with Sonic, and it's only in the Japanese version.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, she literally calls the Sonic through telepathy. It's like the most craziest thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like holding this bird. She's like, do you know what telepathy is? It's like when somebody really cares about each other, you could feel them.
Oh, now we lost Jake as well. Do. Oh, now it's asked down to me.
Now I got disconnected.
Wow. We haven't prayed to the signal and gods hard enough, apparently,
I blame Reed. No, but okay, so like in the episode, like Amy's taking care of this bird. She's like, do you know what telepathy is? She's
why
like,
don't you ever blame Lunella? What?
Why did I blame her? What'd she do to me?
So she's allowed to deal with telepathy, but writers don't want her to deal with her love for Sonic, really?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, I got a message from Witch. He's saying, be right back. My phone hates me. So,
okay.
All right.
What do we do? Do you want to just go to Bionicle?
No, let's just hold off. Keep on stalling for time.
Which?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, that's right. Amy loves Sonic so much in the Japanese version of Sonic X that they have a telepathic connection. Okay. And that when she's in trouble, she can call him telepathically, and he'll be able to hear it. Like he can hear it, like because he cares about it.
Aw.
Yeah.
Look, it's almost like there's a spark. Yeah, it's almost like there's a spark of connection between the two, man, that shouldn't be overlooked, right?
Yeah, probably not. Maybe that was just an English dub joke that Sonic didn't actually like Amy, and they ruined people's perception of that relationship. And maybe we should keep that in. Because in the Japanese version of Sonic X, it's not that Sonic is like doesn't want a relationship. It's that he's just like he's like a cool kid, but he doesn't know how to deal with like girly, like emotional girly stuff. That's like, basically. It was more like he doesn't know how to deal with relationships like that. He doesn't know how to be intimate like that. That's why he's always like nervous and stuff about it. So, but even in the Sonic X comics, he went on a date with her. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he went on one date with her, and like but he was so nervous about it, and then Eggman kept attacking them, and it made for a more interesting date. And he was like, "Thanks, Eggman, you really helped me out here." So.
Oh man, wow. This is Eggman's master plan, man. He's gonna make sure Sonic has has a girlfriend, so that he will be spending way more time with his girlfriend than saving the day.
He was really a Sonami shepherd this whole time. Okay, he was
Sonami. Yep.
But no, they cut out plots. They cut out plots like that in Sonic. Like in Sonic X, that scene's not even there. Like in the English version. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jake, send which the link again?
The link. Yo, copy.
Yeah.
Oh
he's
wait, I'm about to
messaging on our Discord.
Careful. Oh my god, I almost left the website.
Oh, they.
Opening up Discord.
This has not been a good week for us signaling wise, audience. Just so, yeah.
Like hell it is. But yeah, we're still here. Yeah.
It's like we're trying to one up each other as to who has the worse signaling audience, you know? Okay.
I mean, hi, I have to do this on my iPad because my phone fucking hates me.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay, so where did I leave off? I left off.
You left off on picture 2.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna start here, and then we're gonna go from there. Where my phone fucking hates me. It's like you have too much storage, so we're just gonna reboot your phone every time 5 seconds. Anyways, so Sheila's fighting Sin. She does a switcheroo with Marcus. He gets a hit in. Cool. Justin pulls up. Sheila frees herself. Sin's being a bitch and hurts Marcus's wrist because she's an asshole. She goes on the top of the fucking train, and Sheila runs after her because, you know, she's a bitch. Justin stays behind to look after Marcus. You guys still with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Justin takes off his helmet and just to make sure that he's all good and Marcus is not fully hurt. So we cut to where Malfagor is keeping some of the more at risk, more powerful people, you know, because he's an asshole and he has a weird spear. And if you read the Kid Juggernaut mini, you know who this motherfucker is. Anyways, so yeah, he's a bitch. We don't like him. He's an asshole. Anyways, so basically he taunts Jara, who is an Asgardian, if you didn't know, and all this other stuff, and takes the Gorath Stone, which if you've been keeping up with this book, you know that's probably not a good idea to do. He's a bitch. Anyway, so Sin is on top of the roof, calls for a helicopter for evacuation, and Sheila's like, it better be a medical chopper, bitch, and they're fighting, and all that jazz. And so basically, Sin pushes Sheila off of the thing. But guess what? Ye old switcheroo. Can you switch to the next picture, please?
You.
Exactly. Fuck you, phone. I hate my phone right now. I'm gonna turn off my phone for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna go from there. And so yeah, Ye basically switcheroos, and Sin falls off the train into some rocks. Not fun. Anyway, so we cut to Justin and Marcus, and they see Malfagor, or whatever the fuck his name is. And so basically, Justin's pissed off. He breaks the staff. And can you cut to the next picture?
You.
Yeah, so basically breaks a hole through the train, pushes Malfagor out of the train, but he has a broken parachute. Like, it has a whole bunch of holes. I don't know what that was going to do for you. Anyways, Marcus helps out and sets Will-O-Wisp and Jara out of the thing. But we're all still fighting on top, you know? We're still fighting on top of the train. Yeehaw, bitch. But don't worry, Justin stopped the train because he's unstoppable. Enough. Next picture, please. Because guess who shows up? Doom. Yay!
It won't be the last time we talk about Doom tonight, audience.
Yeah, so he's like, you know, I must congratulating you for dealing with Hydra, with these Hydra pests, which honestly moods. But you gotta put these childish away and face your doom. And so everyone's like, we got this, right? And so Gabriel's like, against the Sorcerer Supreme? Yeah, no. That's where the issue ends. That's my book for the night. Wish me luck on my phone, because hopefully it doesn't get rid of all of my tabs on my fucking Chrome, because I kind of need those tabs. So yeah, that's it. That's all for me.
Gotcha.
All right. So we're here. We're back on
I might
Void.
switch back to my phone, by the way, if it wants to work with me. Just letting you know that now.
Gotcha. Which so.
And we're back on Voya Nui. Look at this epic battle between the Paraka and the Toa Ignika. Okay,
This is like a Civil War poster shot. You know, right?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard finding good pictures. The further we go into this series, it's gonna be a lot harder for me to find interesting pictures from the Bionicle universe because the fan base is so small. I'm so sad. So, um, but nonetheless, we are back on Voyanui, in the battle between the Toa Ignika and the Paraka has ignited. Okay, this is really the first time the teams have really interacted. We've seen like small little skirmishes, but this is the first time it's like an all-out war. And the Toa Ignika are not just going to be fighting the Paraka; they're going to be fighting Brutaka, who is a Bionicle type from the ages of old. Brutaka was so strong that in one mighty hit, he defeated the Toa Nuva. So there's a really uphill battle for the Toa Ignika. But I gotta say, this fight is fun. I think what I find it's weird. I love the telemetry fight scenes because is that something cryptid?
I was asking like, what seemed weird?
I like the telemetry fight scenes because of the creative ways they use their abilities. Like, I really did like how I really like all the different ways Wanua would use telepathy to help him in a fight, or like how Makama would strategically use invisibility, how Holly would use even like a power that seems as simple as translation, which Holly had. That was really cool. Like, their mass powers really were the gimmick here. And in this fight too, it's fun. It's better than the Toa Nuva fights. It's something about it, like it just missing a little something for me. It's missing a little like coolness for me. I think it's because the powers are way more out there. Because like in the original, it was like in Toa Metro, it was like invisibility, translation, telepathy, shape shifting, that type of stuff. This time they have powers that are like astral projection or like mind reading or like flight or like it's a different power set.
Yeah.
But I each Toa team is set to like the island they're supposed to be fighting on. So like the reason the Toa Nuva couldn't really beat the Paraka is not because like they did everything right, but the reason they weren't really a good match for them is just because their powers weren't a good match for them. It was just like their Toa powers are more tailored to fights on Motunui, the island. And just like the Toa Metro's powers would be better spent on like fighting the threats of Metro Nui. That's just the way the Great Spirit gave them their powers. So when the Toa Ignika fight the Paraka, where the Toa Nuva, it took like all 6 of them just to fight one Paraka. Here, the Toa Ignika can fight them one at a time. Like they can just match off and partner up and stuff like that. So they have a lot more easier time fighting these guys than Toa Nuva did. And I like to think that's because the Great Spirit gave them specific powers that were able to fight the threats of this island. That's my theory.
Yep.
And so far the fight's going good. I mean, they're struggling. They're not like, they're not cakewalking them. But even I think it's Naparu. No, not Naparu. Huki. Huki's able to actually like get the upper hand on Brutaka of all people. Just a reminder, Brutaka one-shotted the entire Toa Nuva cast. So and so Huki using his strategic abilities with his earth powers, he's able to temporarily disable Brutaka. We also have a cool fight scene with Kongu as well, where he's fighting I think it's Avok, right? And it's the Paraka with the ability to create the perfect prison. For those who need a refresher, there's like a Paraka on the team, and he was a jailer, and then he discovered a power where if he shot you with his Zamasphere, it created a prison that was tailored to you specifically. So like for instance, just put this in like a terms that people would understand. If it was a jail for Superman, it would just be a kryptonite jail. If it was a jail for Batman, it'd be just photos of his dead parents everywhere and just watch him freak out. And so, you know what I mean? It's like
your own personal hell. Your own personal hell is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And so, like for Kongu, he's the toe of air. He relies on air. So his prison is like there's no air in your prison, basically. Like you're just in an airless prison and you can't breathe, basically. And so Kongu has to think of creative ways to get out of that. The fight does kind of end with a plot twist that Thok and Hakan, the white Paraka and the red Paraka, they betray everyone and kind of get them all screwed over. basically, because they're gonna go after the Mask of Life. So now the Baraka are turning on each other as they realize the tides are turning. And the Toei Nika and the Baraka both get caught in their trap. And but thanks to I think it's Huki. Thanks to Huki defeating his Baraka, he's able to free the rest of them. There's, by the way, we're getting to the point where there's a lot of names that I didn't grow up with as a kid. So if I interchange some of these guys, bear with me. I'm just gonna sometimes I'm just gonna say the wrong names because it's not like with the Toa Nuva and Toa Metru, I grew up with them. I watched their movies several times, so I just know their names by heart. But in this one, it's kind of different for me. So yeah. And so basically, the Toei Nika get freed first. And then Axon shows up. Axon's like, listen, like, I gotta go get the Mask of Life because right now, like, there's under no possible circumstances can anybody who isn't on team, let's say Matanui, get that mask. And Jola's like, no. Listen. I don't trust one person getting the Mask of Life. The Mask of Life is a thing that like our team has to get. Like everyone has to work together to get it. And you gotta give us some answers. And Axon's like, all right, I got you. And Axon says, like, I'll explain it, but we got to get out of the earshot of these Baraka. I don't want them to know what I know, because I know, like, the origin of this shit. And, but the Baraka are like, whoa, don't leave us here. We're the only ones who can stop, who can stop Thok and Hakan, because right now I believe they have the powers of Brutaka, which makes them the strongest right now. And so basically, and they're like, well, we're not going to let you guys go. That's stupid. You're going to betray us. He's like, yeah, we absolutely are. But at the same time, we're the only way you're going to be able to stop Thok and Hakan. So we have to work together, and you got to trust us, at least for a little bit. And reluctant, and then like, Hakangu's like, or we could just like torture the information out of you and get it ourselves. So like, and Holly's like, we're Toa. We can't just like torture people. That's not what we do. And Frog is like, yeah, you're good guys. You can't do that. And Kong is like, damn it. So yeah, they do let them go. So now it's an uneasy alliance with the Toei Nika and the Baraka as the hunt for the Mask of Life goes on. We also get an important lore drop because Bionicle is nothing without its lore drops. The island of Oyanui was not always the island it is today. We find out that on a map that Voyanui actually used to be bigger, but now there's an entire section of the land that is gone, that is now the Voyanui Bay. And it's believed that this part of the island broke off and was submerged underwater on some Atlantis shit. But it's a myth, and no one really understands like why. What's that about? And right now we are planting the seeds for the next arc in this chapter, it seems like. So the next arc has the second, if not the most iconic Bionicle commercial. But we'll get. Actually, it has two. It has the most iconic Toa commercial and the most iconic villain commercial in the franchise. So I'm really excited to get to that. But next time we come back, it's going to be the Toei Nika and the Baraka's uneasy alliance as they go on as they're done fighting each other. Now it's the full-on race to see who can get the Mask of Life first. But we do have one piece of information now as well. At the end of this road, there is a threat that is beyond good and evil, that is not on the Toa or the Makuta side. And you can't get the mask unless we go through that person. And if you don't prove yourself worthy, you're going to die. So we'll see what that leads into next time on the Bionicle series. But yeah, that's the story so far. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds cool. Set up for a big fight at the end. So, all right. Guys, we'll move on to the last book of the night.
Yep.
All right. So, all right. Next book, The Superior Avengers.
Never do that again.
I have to, which,
no,
how many times
you really don't have to. You're just doing it just to fuck with me.
How many times can I say superior?
How many times before I want to claw my eyes out? I don't know yet.
Gotcha. But anyway, so yeah, we're back into another One World Under Doom tie-in. God dang, how long is this event going to be? Apparently, it's going to be up to 8 issues or something like that. Dang. Been a while since we had an event that long. But anyway, So yeah, this is a Doom's dream team of Avengers because he believes the team that has Sam Wilson on, yeah, they're pathetic. They ain't all that,
Whoa,
especially their
racist much?
counterpart.
Chill, bro. Chill.
Yeah,
Chill.
yeah, yeah, Doom. Well, you got a thing against Carol being the leader of the Avengers team?
Yes, but that's besides the point. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is his team and his perfect image that he got from the future, right? Doom loyalists. And in the end of the last issue, it's revealed this team killed their Doctor Doom. Up yours, Doom. Up yours, Oh, you wanted to create a group that was so much better than the Avengers to put them in your image and they kill your butt. Like epic L, dude. Epic L. So this issue kind of tells us what happened in the future, leading up to Doctor Doom getting killed. And yeah, this is all basically a co-op specifically led by Killmonger from this universe. Because now also remember, audience, Killmonger in this timeline is a woman. I guess she's an ex-Storm Mirage, this and that. And yeah, basically they all want to kill Doom because in the future he basically erases any free will in the world to ensure world peace, So yeah. They come at Doom and Killmonger does the fatal blow. And yeah, apparently thanks to the fact that they have Onslaught on their team, they were able to grab the resources on the remains of Krakoa of this specific type of metal. I forgot what the name of it is, but it's basically anti-magic, For those of you who have been reading the X-Men Krakoa era and what I'm assuming is X of Swords, you'd be better familiar with this than I am. You guys hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep going before you get booted off.
Gotcha. And I just gotta say this, man. Uru needs some mad respect because you would think this is a job for what Uru does, like dealing with magic, the metal that works with magic. But I guess that's not good enough anymore. So yeah, Killmonger kills this Doctor Doom, and now they're going to go after the resources in his vault now that he's gone. And apparently, Doctor Doom had a contingency plan because remember, he's still Sorcerer Supreme, right? So yeah, he used his magic previously to concoct a spell, to which, in the event that Doctor Doom dies, all magic in the universe dies with him. Like, what? Well played, Victor. Well played. So, you guys there?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Killmonger realized they kind of screwed up in this situation, so that's kind of the reason why they're going back in time. I guess they're looking to kill Doctor Doom before he concocts that spell, to tether his life with all the magic. So, yeah, they come back. They take down a villain that apparently escaped from a prison break not too long ago. And as they go back to Doom's castle, Killmonger kind of wants to have like a little private discussion with Doctor Doom's son. And yeah, in this series they hook up.
You put that on the fucking thumbnail, and I was like, what? They're having sex in my Marvel comic?
Yeah.
I know,
in my
right?
Disney era Marvel comic?
Yeah, I know, right? One thing I do gotta appreciate is they show that Killmonger has scars. You don't really see that too often with female characters that they have scars, but look at her. Yeah, she's covered in them.
We love that for her.
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much how the issue ends. And I just kind of want to go a little side tangent. I know like there have been some usual suspects out there that have been making loads of videos because of a headline saying Killmonger hooks up with Doctor Doom's son, and people are taking that as, oh my God, you're shipping Killmonger with Doctor Doom's son? What the heck, Marvel? But guys, this is a female version of of Killmonger. Like, what are you guys doing? Like,
Well, most people don't read the headline, and they go like, "Well, why do I need to read the headline? I just want to have an opinion."
they read the headline and they just look at the cover one time. I'm like, yeah, that's still a female version of Killmonger, dude. I mean, come on. Like, yeah. But you're never gonna have a retraction from them. I just wanted to bring this up. Like,
it was the headline. It's the headline, though. They don't have to retract that. There's nothing wrong with it.
I know.
It's factual. It was Killmonger sleeps with Doom, and you're supposed to read it because you're interested in what happens. People just didn't. That's not their fault.
Yeah. So there you go, audience. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, it was an okay issue. At the end of the day, nothing too big, nothing too bad. It was just a short week, audience, So, all right.
But we're still living and learning.
Yeah. So, there you have it, audience. That's our reviews of the week.
See you next week.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
Unless the Karate Kid of Legends comes out.
Yeah. That's still coming.
Yeah.
All right. Play that end music, man.
He has been.
Yeah. Okay, I'm making sure. I was like, you scared me. I was like, is it not playing? Yeah, we're out of here.